Okay, and to start, when you start working with value, you're going to study how value functions on basic shapes. So a sphere, a cube, a pyramid, a cone, and a cylinder. And then you can apply that knowledge to more complex shapes. Okay, and let's talk about the elements of light and form on a sphere. So the first thing that you're going to establish when you create your drawings of your basic shapes, that's one of our exercises this week. So the first thing you're going to establish when you're working with value is your light source, or the direction the light is coming from. So it's up here in red. The light source is coming from this top left corner. The light source coming down here is shooting right onto this sphere at the highlight here. This is the brightest point of the object, where the light is hitting the object most directly. The light area, the entire area on an object receiving light from the light source. The core shadow is down here. It's the most concentrated area of dark on an illuminated object, where the least amount of light is received on the form. Notice how it follows the shape of the object, right? So it has like a little crescent moon shape because it is following the shape of the sphere. Core shadow here, darkest part of the sphere. It's past the midpoint of the sphere. So the sphere turns in space. This would be about the widest point here. And then just behind that, you're going to get your core shadow. The midtone area between the core shadow and the light area. And the cast shadow is the shadow of the object being cast on a surface. Any surface or onto another object, depending on how they're arranged. Notice the correlation of the angle of the light source. So again, the light source is coming from the top left, following the arrow down here, hitting the sphere at the highlight. And if you notice the same angle, if we take this angle of the light source, follow it on the edge of our sphere to the widest point, follow it down to the surface, that's where the cast shadow ends. Same thing on this side, right? The widest point of the sphere here comes down, hits the surface, so we get this little bump here at the sphere where the sphere hits the table a little bit back here. And then the cast shadow is going to be on the surface. I also want to point out that the cast shadow gets lighter as it moves away from the object. The cast shadow is a little bit lighter on this far end here because it's getting a little bit of ambient light. The other important element of light is reflected light. It is light that bounces off a nearby surface and back onto the object. So the light comes in, hits the sphere at the highlight, it lights up this whole light area, turns away into this core shadow, and then it lightens up again as the sphere continues to turn away because the sphere is receiving some reflected light from the light that's coming in and hitting behind the object and all around here on the surface and bouncing up back onto the sphere.